Hello again, friends. I am Covenant Ironface and my partner, Drekmo Cress, representatives of TeamNO. Today, we've once again gone to see a new movie.
Yay!
I did not get drunk enough to watch this movie.
For those of you wondering, we decided to go see the new Fantastic Four.
With a 4 for the A.
Oh, yay! I'm sorry, it's fantastic. Fan-for-tastic? I don't know.
Yeah, Fant-for-astic. Stick. I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's... Yeah.
We know it's just a gimmick. But, as usual, want to break it down and look at it. It has a... yeah. Sadly.
Yeah, you can tell how enthused we are to really be reviewing this movie.
It has the same basic premise that Fantastic Four has always had, only they used alternate dimension rather than space travel.
Which, I thought it was interesting. It's a new-ish idea.
It may still technically be a planet in space, and they just don't know. That's probably going to be brought up. But regardless, same idea. Our heroes go through and are affected with their things and whatever and come back.
Yeah, basic gimmick of falling into a vat of radioactive goo and powers!
Unlimited power. The only main difference, which kind of a spoiler alert we want to look at, is in this case, obviously, the 4 people who went through was everyone but the Invisible Woman. Victor went with them and didn't come back. Well, everyone knows that Victor Von Doom, first off, with a name like Doom, come on.
Doom, 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 doom.
But he doesn't come back. He's not present for most of the movie. And the whole idea is, after the first time that they go through and come back, the big bad government wants to try and go again because they screwed up the first machine.
Meaning they didn't take military soldiers over there to give them powers.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah. It's, big government, oh, look, powers, we want to use it.
We want to use it.
Pretty much.
And, of course, like I said, small spoiler alert, Doom does come back later in the movie. Who saw that coming?
Yeah. And, oh, look, he's pissed at everybody. Yeah, the cliches in this movie are downright fucking terrible. The dialogue in this entire fucking movie are half-assed, pretentious fucking speeches. Now, being, a Marvel, intellectual property, yeah, there comes with the territory, but when Marvel does it, it's a lot better.
And they have action.
And they have emotion. Yes, emotion! Emotion, my children.
Yeah,
let's take the characters for example. The main character, Richard Reed, kinda, sorta, I'm super smart, and yeah. Johnny, oh look, I'm arrogant. That's literally his entire fucking character. Ben Grimm is barely in the fucking movie, and when he is, I have no fucking clue what he's supposed to be doing in the movie. Just from the prospect of this movie, if I had not known who Ben Grimm was before this movie, you would still have no fucking clue after this movie. Sue almost has a personality. I'll give her that. Almost. But...
And you get the same from Doom, actually. I'm a pretentious dick beforehand, now I'm a pretentious dick with power!
I can't even call him the villain of this movie, because we barely fucking see him. And, there's always oh, well, I liked Sue first. He barely gets a fucking line of, hey, Richard, that's my girl.
Yeah, the one part that he calls him away And Richard just shows him up and be like, no, we're already done with our work.
No, we've already built the, portal, whatever, we don't care. Oh, well, let's, forget about, the half-assed drama. Let's get back to the fucking powers.
I think with how little the characters themselves are developed, our subcast is even worse. The only person really I think worth mentioning is Storm.
Professor Storm.
Professor Storm. It's Sue's adopted father, Johnny's father, which at least they mentioned that. I know the entire internet was angry about the skin color thing, and not a racial thing, obviously, but siblings should have the same skin color, or at least close. But no, they did mention that she was adopted, which I guess works.
If you're going to change something like that, there needs to be a reason.
A good reason.
And I think the only reason they made that change was because they wanted that particular actor to play the father. But you didn't need him to be a father. He could have just been, some mentor. It makes no logical sense, and I don't see why they did it. Granted, we're a couple of nobody critics, so who the fuck are we to judge?
Average Joe critic.
Yeah, but don't forget about Weasley government guy. I mean,
he's
He
not
doesn't
really
even have a name, but he's a Weasley government guy. He gets more screen time than Victor Doom does. He's more of a villain than the main villain.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think he's really necessarily worth too much mentioning. He's the same archetype character that's in pretty much every other movie like this. Hey, we're gonna, use your stuff for government funding. I'm Weasley, I want power, and I get my comeuppance. There doesn't seem to be anything more important, and there's not even really any emotion in the sub-characters either, just, I'm here, I'm a cardboard cutout, look at me.
Pretty much. And the graphics are both good and bad. Like, when they finally make the thing, it does look good. But the voice coming out of it makes no sense.
Doesn't fit at all.
And when they go to Johnny, it looks like a CGI mask that they just put over on top of him. He doesn't even talk when he's, the Blaze. And okay.
So, I would have to say, a lot of the environments looked really good, but our characters were kind of...
Yeah. Again, you can't make a movie based on one or two effects. Yeah, they had a really good idea, but they didn't have any idea what to fucking do with it. Really. The dimension, like I said, the dimension thing was a good idea in my opinion. I think they should have taken it further, and oh my god, the amount of building up to this that it takes. You should have some character development somewhere in here. I mean, what was this movie, an hour and a half?
No, I thought it was almost 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours.
And for the first hour and a half, there was almost no character development and no action. That really kills it. Everything about the movie crammed into the last half hour. That's really it. 90% of it could have been cut out much shorter, and you would have had a much better movie if you'd thrown in more action, more development.
Again, it's all about that half-assed pretentious speeches. They even had a joke about it. It's like, oh, is he about to make a speech?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's about to make a speech. That's your entire fucking movie. Oh, look, she's making a speech. Oh, look, he's making a speech. Here's another half-assed one-sentence speech about what you should or should not do. No. Fuck you, Fox. Just fuck you.
I mean, I'm sure you've already heard it, but I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to pop off first. This wasn't worth it. It really wasn't. Most of the time you see superhero movies, and even with their flaws, they've been worth a see. But I can't think of much, if any, redeeming qualities for the movie. It was just half-assed done. It felt like it needed a lot more content on her character development and a lot more explaining rather than just, let's do it.
This feels like they made the reboot just because that's what's going on in Hollywood at the time. Oh, look, well, we've got this property and nobody really cares about it anymore, so, well, let's reboot it. And, well, we're rebooting it, so we need to make a couple of changes here, here, and here. Obviously, I don't think this is worth it. This movie was just such a letdown. I mean, we weren't even expecting much from it, and it's still just such a letdown. And, oh, by the way, there's nothing at the end credits for those people that think that it is. I said this several times while we were waiting for the credits to roll. This is a Fox movie, not a Marvel movie. It's not in continuation with all the cinematic movies.
Nothing.
Don't bother. Don't waste your time.
The only I stand corrected now that I'm thinking about it. The only redeeming quality, I actually kind of like Doctor Doom's outfit. I mean, it could have been better. You know, he's usually covered in metal in his previous incarnations. He's kind of alien looking. I thought it was pretty good. Don't glare at me like that.
I'm not really glaring. I didn't really think either way about it. It just...
It looks different.
It's different. It's another one of those changes, but it was... I didn't really find it good or bad, just...
There.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, looks like our coming up next week is going to be The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Man from U.N.C.L.E., based on a TV series from the 60s, which I had never heard of until I saw this movie.
So we'll check that out. Of course, if you like what you see, go ahead and click the like below. And if you want to follow up on more movies and some of our crazy rants, go ahead and click the subscribe.
See you next time.